Hello, everybody. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming to listen to JP's capstone. I am Amanda Dops. I work in the RISE program with JP and a bunch of other awesome kids and a couple of really neat staff members up here. JP has had an incredible impact at FRCS. In fact, I bet most students in here probably have a pretty good story that includes JP in it. Well, JP has had such growth as he has transitioned from a young boy that has struggled and wrestled with frustration, and he has developed into a wonderful young adult. He has overcome many obstacles and challenges, as many of you probably already know that. JP has shown time and again that he is someone that will rise to the challenge. He will face it head on. He will never run and hide from a challenge. He is not afraid to engage with others and learn more about how he can better himself. Even though I've only been working here for 2 years, I've already witnessed him and his growth. I've watched as he's developed more self-control and learned how to connect with a variety of different people. I've seen the result of his hard work towards being extremely diligent in his studies. He always knows what assignments are out there, what he needs to do, where exactly on the iPad to find the assignment, get it done, and submit it on time. In fact, I don't think that I have ever seen him be behind on his work, so that's pretty impressive. Good job. Yeah. Seeing the growth in students like JP here and in the RISE program is one of the most rewarding things of my job. And I'm very thankful that I've had a chance to work with JP for the last couple of years and that I've gotten to know him as the awesome young guy he is. So, without further ado, let's cheer on JP Ramsey.
Is failure a bad thing? This year I engaged in many challenging activities like skiing, snowboarding, mountain biking, climbing a 15er, and football. However, these things were not always easy. Often I had failed. When I have failed, God has taught me lessons. I have found that if I am resilient and continue on with my life and what God wants me, I'll come to the end of myself and be able to focus more on what God wants. God wants victory for me. In the end, however, I want to be able to look back and say that I was diligent in Wisdom and Feed 415. As I continue to push myself, take risks, and overcome, God will continue to remind me of my swing. I will build my positive outlook on my 50 gifts that God has given me as witness for the kingdom. Join me as I talk about how I build a positive outlook for the gifts, on the gifts God has given me, and how I can be a witness for the kingdom. Sometimes I fail, but I learn lessons. I'm learning to focus on what God wants me to do. I'm getting better at looking back and saying, I made progress. Wisdom in Feed 415 says, be diligent in these matters, give yourself away to them, so that everyone may see your progress. Here you can see me climbing a 15er with my friend Lucas Bullock. This was very hard, but more about that in a minute. This year's capstone process has been very impactful for me. I've seen God work in these activities. So like snowboarding, for instance. I have also increased my learning in how to be patient with myself. Furthermore, I strengthened my ability to keep going when things get tough while calling my pot out. My experiences with summoning the 15 and playing football last fall saw me a lot. There were times I got pretty mad and wanted to give up. But my friends encouraged me and I made it through both. I wouldn't have been able to do it without this community of Christ and God Himself coming alongside. When doing hard things, I've experienced the effects of overcoming, which has increased belief in my God-given abilities. We were putting on the feelings of God, while also talking about some of the biblical things behind taking risks and going in resilience. All of these events in the fall have inspired me to take it to the next level. I love snowboarding, doing activities in nature, and football. I was pretty inspired after the activities from the fall. I decided to take this capstone process even further and began to get intentional to learn how these things work together in nature, within me, and within others for the kingdom of Christ. I like to share some of the things I went through my research. As you all know, early in the year I turned to 15, and this was the start of me wanting to experience more opportunities to push myself towards even more students. This year I decided to try to be a kicker. It was very hard at first, but I kept practicing and eventually kicked the 4-yard. I felt very accomplished. That's all going up toward the air, basically. Being about to kick it. Yeah. So. Alright. I've been skiing since I was 3. This year, however, I decided to try snowboarding. So here I am in Park last spring, in the first one, doing this pond skin. And then that's my sister's boyfriend and blonde in the next one. 6'7" dude. And then my sister's dog Webby. So, yeah. It was tough for a long while and I fell off, but over time, with training and hard work, I improved a lot. This made me think about ways that I could further learn about the importance of pushing through hard things in other areas of life. A big part of my capstone experience involved reading. I've been reading a book called A Dangerous Faith by Jim Ryan and Pep Jackson. It talks about risk and spiritual growth. Here I have learned about the importance of pushing myself off into uncomfortable places. In the book, Jim states, God created us with this innate desire to risk. It's what makes us grow spiritually and otherwise. Taking risks for His sake brings Him glory and draws us closer to Him. This made me wonder about what's a beautiful step I have to say about this. I decided to interview Coach Osberg about how to deal with athletes, parents, and coaches when resilience is tested. One of the things he said that really stood out to me was Jesus wasn't afraid to do hard things. He wasn't afraid to do things the right way. Go all out and give the glory to God. Talk about this. Okay. Awesome. This was pretty impactful. As I continued to enter into doing difficult things, I must remember that I should do so honestly and assertively, going all out and giving the glory to God. One way I experienced this was in the area of relationships. This is my friend Evan. Over the last year, he and I have become very good friends. As people get closer, they start to learn about all the little annoyances of the other person. He and I have had some differing opinions and thoughts about things. Friendships are a great part of God's design for the community, but also as a summoning tool for our character. I have taken much of what I've learned about doing hard things and used it with my friends. It's been great to have constructive arguments with everyone. It's even made me respect him even more. Going forward, I plan to continue to push myself in many different areas. looking for ways to intentionally incorporate my faith into life experiences. As I overcome, I will increase my confidence. I will build my positive outlook on life if these gifts that God is good. I have confidence that this will spill forth into my soul and therefore the world. All for the kingdom of Jesus Christ, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Thank you.